where do we stand on that? Can we expect to see CMPD police officers wearing cameras, or are they already wearing cameras?
I know CMPD is looking at it, and
Yes.
as we are. We already have, right now at the Mecklenburg County Sheriff's Office, we have in-car cameras. And then just as soon as we can get the funding and we're able to get the body cameras, we're going to have those also.
Absolutely. And so where would the funding, who will fund, or how will the cameras be funded?
Hopefully we'll be able to get a federal grant to be able, and we may have to look at other resources, but we're going to get the funding to have the body cameras because I think it's important. We want the community to know what happens, I mean, on these scenes and these situations.
Absolutely. And well, you're born and raised Charlottean.
Yes.
I've been living in Charlotte for 12 years. Charlotte is not really a violent city, but do you personally think that it's a necessity, the cameras are a necessity?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you know, I always tell everyone a picture speaks 1,000 words.
Yes.
So when you can see exactly what happens, that tells the story.
Yes,
that tells the story. So, and a lot of people always say, well, is the video going to, I mean, is it going to, you'll see the whole video. I mean, from start to finish. And I tell everyone, you know, our judicial system normally, I mean, let it work. And it's going to see that video will be a part of the judicial process.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so like I said, I'm for our cameras, our body cameras, our in-car cameras and our body cameras. Absolutely. I fully support that and I want that because, again, it keeps our officers safe and it's going to keep the community safe.
Absolutely. And you are also an author. You have written the Women's Response Awareness.
Yes.
So tell me about that. Do you think that now because police officers are mostly males, do you see a need for women in the law force?
Yes, absolutely. And with our agency, it's like in our pods that we have female pods that only female officers can be in those areas. And my program, the book that I wrote, Women's Awareness Response, that and its Success for Safety, it is based off of criminal interviews that I've had over the years, where I've interviewed, do you remember the serial killer Henry Louis Wallace years ago, who killed a total of 12 women? And I was able to interview him, speak with him, and he was studying to be a nuclear engineer. He was so charismatic. He actually, one of our detention officers, he was at her door, pounding on her door 2 weeks before he was arrested. And she comes to the door, she looks out, sees it's Henry Louis Wallace. He's begging her to open the door. So she had that gut feeling. And that's what I always tell everyone, pay attention to that sixth sense. So she goes to the kitchen and calls her mom, says, Mom, there's a guy in the complex pounding on my door, should I open the door? She said, no, don't open the door. If she had not paid attention to her intuition, she would have been added to his victims. Because this is the 2-week rampage he was on that he killed victim after victim after victim. Every victim he visited, he killed. So that's why I've taken all this information and put it in a book that is, the whole goal is to really change the way people perceive. And when they walk out, I want people, when they walk out of my classes or they read my book, they're going to walk a little differently. Because they're going to have the tools to stay safe. And that's what it's about.
I absolutely agree. And I'm sorry, I heard, or I know that you were raised in a dairy farm.
Yes.
Do you ever think about, after retirement, which I hope is not anytime soon, do you think about going back to that dairy farm and just living the rest of your days there?
Yeah, well, my dad, I was born and raised on Beatty's Ford Road on that dairy farm. There's no more dairy farms on Beatty's Ford Road, or pretty much almost in the county. It's and that's one of the things that I wish my son would have had the opportunity to go through that, because that's where I received my work ethic. Because I love to work, and again, I love to serve, and I feel like that came from that farm life. And I said I'm at least committed to 12 years being the sheriff of Mecklenburg County, and I may go longer.
Yeah.
But I said, I'm committed to 12 years, 3 terms, and then after that, we may look. We have a 400-acre farm that I may look at going and retiring, but
Absolutely.
I don't think I could sit still. I mean, as long as I'm out working, I will be happy.
Yep.
Yeah.
And now, when you were running for county sheriff, you were endorsed by two of the former sheriffs,
Yes.
which were Chip Bailey and Jim Pendergraft.
Yes.
Were they mentors to you?
Yes. You know, I was blessed to be served, and I had 3-generation sheriff support.
Yes.
I mean, Sheriff C.W. Kidd, who hired me, I had his family, and actually his wife is still alive. And the night of the election, the Charlotte Observer clicked a picture of me hugging her. That was her. I mean, the wife of the first sheriff that hired me. But then Sheriff Pendergraft, Sheriff Bailey, they both supported me, and they endorsed me, and that was huge. That was huge to have their support, and they were mentors to me because of seeing they organized and set up the agency where it is today. I was coming in a great position because they had already had the command staff, they had everyone in place, and it operates efficiently. And you know, people before always said, well, we never hear anything about the sheriff's office. And I said, that's a good thing, because that means we're not doing anything bad.
Absolutely.
Yes. So I want to see a little bit further where we are. You are going to see us out in the community more and see the community involvement. But no, the Sheriff Pendergraft, Sheriff Bailey, they were mentors to me.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And as a father and as a martial arts instructor, do you think you serve as a mentor to other, for example, your son, or for other young boys and even girls? Do you think you serve as a mentor to them?
Well, I would like to think that I do. You know, I love, again, I love serving and have an opportunity to work with these kids in martial arts. I already know that several of them have, they credit to what they've learned through me of possibly saving their lives.
Yes.
So, and I said, that's always been my goal. If one person can be saved from a program that I do, then everything I've done is worthwhile.
Absolutely.
So, and I've already had, I had one person attend my class, my crime prevention program through the sheriff's office. And 2 weeks after my class, she's attacked. And she said what she learned in that class ultimately saved her life. And it was a huge case that was in Charlotte. It was actually the first DNA case used in Mecklenburg County, and that the survivor of that attended my class, and she credits my class to saving her life. And we have been friends, I mean, for years. Yeah, so I feel that I'm very, very blessed, and you know, that's why serving at another level, I want to reach more people.
Absolutely.
And I want to be able to have the resources to reach more people, because it's all about service. It's all about making a difference, and you know, reaching kids early. That is somewhere that I want to go with the sheriff's office.
Absolutely.
Because you look right now, we don't have effect. A lot of people don't realize we have a youthful offender area in our jail, 16 and 17-year-olds. We have the only high school in the state of North Carolina in a jail is here in Mecklenburg County. So we're able to affect 16 and 17-year-olds.
Absolutely.
Yes, and so they're able to get their high school diploma, not a GED, their high school diploma, and now they're able to gain employment. But where I want to go also is on the front end, earlier with these kids. We have a program called the Reality Program. And school resource officers, if there's a child that is really struggling, maybe getting on the wrong path, they can come. And it's kind of like the Scared Straight program. The school resource officers able to refer them to us. When they refer them to us, then they come down and they go through the reality where they're able to have the opportunity to see what can happen to them. My nephew years ago went through the program and it changed him. I've had other mothers and fathers come up and say that program changed their child. And, you know, that's why I say if one person can be changed, change that path, it's worth it. So, but the program's changing many people's paths.
Absolutely. And you actually have a video about children and their safety.
Yes.
So you would say that children are very, very important. If you can get to them early and teach them the right way,
yes,
they're a very important part of the community.
Right, right. I do what's called a Success for Safety, a stranger danger program for the kids. And, you know, kids, they're trusting. We raise them to be trusting.
Yes.
And we have to teach them to do the right thing.
Yep.
And one of the things is I always give is my whole programs, these videos, the books that I've published are based off these criminal interviews where I've interviewed serial killers, cop killers, child pedophiles.
Mm-hmm.
A child pedophile, one of the things that they do is they have a total, I always say, I'll never send my son, I never did, I never would send my son to a restroom by himself.
Oh.
Why? It's because that's a child molester's haven. They have a private stall to molest a child in. And plus, they will threaten that child where that child will never speak about it for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's why an average child molester will molest a minimum of 80 kids before they're ever caught, because the children are terrified to speak about it. So this is why I try educating the parents, go with your kids.
Yes.
Take them to the restrooms. Because you cannot let them out of your sight, because there are the predators out there.
Yes.
Right now in Mecklenburg County, we have over 1,000 registered sex offenders here in Mecklenburg County. And it's our job we're checking them.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So are they out in the community and you know he is a sex offender and he lives right here?
Yes.
Or are they incarcerated?
Yes. No, they are out in the community. These are registered sex offenders that are out in the community. If you want to know where they are, go to our website, the mecsheriff.com, and you'll be able to see where the sex offenders live. And there's websites, the state of North Carolina, that you can just type in your address,
Absolutely.
and then it will immediately show you all the sex offenders around your area. So, and they're registered with us. So, like I said, there's over 1,000 in Mecklenburg County registered. We track them. We check on them 4 times a year. 2 times a year, they have to come to us. 2 times a year, we go to them.
Oh my.
So, and it's unannounced. We show up. We make sure they're in compliance.
Absolutely. And what is the sheriff's office doing about social media? Because, for example, for the college kids, for all the teenagers, even the young kids who are now have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and they want to be able to reach you guys, are you guys on social media?
Absolutely. That is where we are on Facebook, Twitter, and we have social media. And I tell everyone to go to our website, themecsheriff.com. There will be links on there that you can click on, and you can go immediately to those social media sites.
Absolutely. Well, I would very much like to thank you for being here and for allowing me to be here doing this interview with you. Thank you so much.
It was an honor.
It was an honor for me, actually. Thank you so much for being here, Sheriff.
Thank you.